Hello, welcome back to another instalment of this migraine-inducing series, which is our top 100 board games of all time. Yes, all time. This is numbers 70 down to 61, so hopefully you haven't stuck your head in a microwave and turned it on just yet. But once we've trawled our way through these next 10 games, then feel free to fry your brain next to a pot noodle. So number 70 on this list is a game by Bruno Cafala, or is it Bruno Feduti? Can't remember. It's Masquerade. This is a card-based game, and each player is going to receive a card with a different courtly personality on it. Each one of these personalities is going to do a different thing. But essentially what you'll be doing, you'll be taking a card from somebody else. You'll put that and your card under the table and you will swap the cards around or not. And then you'll give the cards back to the other person. They're not going to know whether you swap the cards or not. And if you are thick as shit like me, then you are probably not going to know which card you swapped around either. On your turn, you can do that. You can look at your card or you can claim to be one of the courtly personalities. When you do that, the other players get an option of calling you out, calling you a bullshitting bastard. And if you are who you say you are, you get to activate this special ability. You might be able to get a load of coins because coins mean victory points at the end of the game. Or you might be able to do a shitload of other stuff, which I'm not going to go into because I've only got about 10 seconds left. But Masquerade is a fantastic bluffing party game that will play up to the whole population of a Calais detention centre. And it's only a tenner, so what are you waiting for? Number 69 is a miniatures game by Simon, or Call Me or Not, right? It's a game called Rum and Bones. This is a pirate-themed miniature skirmish game based on a MOBA video game that I've never played and I haven't got a clue what it is. But basically, you'll be putting two ships next to each other and you will choose three captains. Captains have got special abilities and they've got upgradable cards. And you'll have a crew that will just keep moving forward and just basically killing themselves, really. You'll be trying to take control of different locations on your opponent's ship. And when you get up to, I think it's 8 victory points, then you will win the game. This is a sprawling beast. There has been 2 iterations of this. Have been Rum and Bones and Rum and Bones Second Tide. Both iterations have had more content than you will ever be able to use in your entire life, even if you live till the ripe old age of 170. It's a simple game. It's going to be dice rolling. You're going to be matching those dice rolls against different scores to do damage. But it's a really enjoyable romp. Game changes every time you play it because there's so much content. And we just really enjoy playing this. Number 68 is a game called Tammany Hall. This is an election type of worker placement area control game. In Tammany Hall, you'll be placing your voting cubes out onto different regions in New York, and you'll be trying to get the most influence in those regions. There's also a load of different personalities that will give you game-breaking special abilities. This is a cutthroat game. Yeah, you might think you're in control of one region, and then somebody sneaks around the back here and gives you a Tango Man slap. This was out of print for absolutely ages. Couldn't find it anywhere. Got reprinted and now it is cheap as chips. Yeah, so I'm a bit gutted about that. But yeah, Tammany Hall blends the excitement of elections and voting with the cutthroat nature of area control. Super. Number 67 on this list is a party game called Wavelength. This is a game that is based around this big plastic contraption with a little dial on it. This is a team-based game, so you're going to split yourself up into different teams and you're going to get a card with a word or a phrase on it, and you'll be using this dial to give your team clues as to what's on the card. So you're going to randomly spin this wheel. That's going to give you a threshold that you're going to have to try and get your team to guess the right answer. Your team is going to be programming in this dial to see whether or not the clue you gave them is hot or cold. You know, that game you spent when you were bullied as a kid. But yeah, Wavelength is a fantastic party game. You're going to have to try and second guess your teammates and also your opponents, because if they fuck it up, you get to have a little go, right? If you're a bit of a party animal, not like me, I've given up that lifestyle, but I still like a little bit of a knees up, then Wavelength is definitely a game that you should check out. Number 66 is a dice chucking game called Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, you'll be chucking your dice into a dice tray, and then you will be choosing all of the dice that display one number. So if you roll 3 sixes, you can take those 3 sixes, and then you'll be placing them on a casino that matches the number that you chose. This is an area majorities thing. The player with the highest number of dice on that casino will get the monetary payout, but if there's a tie, then it's the next lowest number that will take the money. So that's a nice little twist. This was reprinted a little while ago as Las Vegas Royale. The component quality was updated, and they did add a few extra little add-ons that they said would make the game more interesting, but we just generally play vanilla Las Vegas. It's one of the best dice chucking games out there. It's exciting, it's tense, and it's number 66. Number 65 on this list is a worker placement game called Lagrania. In this game, you will be running your own homestead. You'll be producing different resources and flogging them to different markets. The thing that makes Lagrania really fantastic is the cards have got multiple uses. I mean, it's not just a case of choosing 1 or 2 options. I think you've got 4 different options on this, and you'll be placing these cards onto your player board, slotting them in to different positions to do different things. I might give you resources. You might be able to use the card for its character that's on there, yeah. But yeah, you've got the added bonus of there being dice lobbed at the beginning, and you'll be taking these dice to give you extra benefits throughout the game. This got reprinted on Kickstarter last year, I believe, in a super duper deluxe version. We picked up the cheapo German version and just basically translated the cards ourselves. Lagrania is the perfect blend of dice chucking and multiple card uses, and it's great. Number 64 is a game that was out of print for absolutely ages. It got reprinted again, and now you can pick it up for a tenner. It's Pillars of the Earth. We have never ever met anybody who has read Pillars of the Earth. I've never read Pillars of the Earth because I can't read, and I wouldn't want to read it even if I could. Pillars of the Earth is a basic worker placement game. There's a neat mechanic where you'll be pulling bishops' fingers out of a bag that will determine turn order and the cost of taking your turns, and then you'll be placing these workers out onto the board, and then you'll be resolving the action spaces one by one in a strict order. There's also different cards that you can get that's going to give you different stuff, and you've got that ridiculous cathedral thing in the centre that basically acts as a timer. Still waiting for them to reprint the expansion that lets you play with more players, but I don't think that's going to be available anytime soon, so that's disappointing. But yeah, Pillars of the Earth is a admittedly bog standard Euro game, but sometimes you just want to play the easy shit, don't you? Number 63 on this list is a game by Paolo Mori. It's a game called Libertalia. This is a pirate-themed action selection game. You're going to randomly assign a load of cards which have different pirates, and each pirate's got a special ability. All the other players are going to be choosing the same pirates. Everyone's going to choose one of the cards from their hand, and you've got to play it on the table and reveal simultaneously. Then you will put all of these characters into a strict order, and you will resolve each pirate. Each character is going to activate during the day or during the night, or maybe not at all. The ultimate aim is to get a certain amount of tokens and end up with the most booty. This was reprinted by Stonemaier Games. They basically sterilised the entire experience. They took out all of the problematic characters and basically made the game look like a pile of shit. That is going to be the only copy that you are going to be able to get hold of, so it's better than nothing. But if you could find the original version with the Pirates of the Caribbean vibe, then that's the one you want to pick up, because Libertalia is a fantastic game that plays up to 6 players. Number 62 on this list is a game called Terraforming Mars. I hated this game when I first played it. Subsequent plays over the years, it's getting better and better and better. In Terraforming Mars, you will be drawing cards from a deck, you'll be putting them into your hand, and you'll be playing these cards that will allow you to take different actions. You can terraform the land. You'll be placing tiles out onto the Martian surface. You'll be trying to increase the amount of oxygen and water that is available, all the while scoring a load of victory points. This is basically a tableau building game with a little bit of area control thrown in. For a lot of people, this is their favourite game of all time, and I can see why. For me, it just goes on a little bit too long, and some of the cards that you get in your hand just sit there and don't do anything. But I still enjoy playing Terraforming Mars. It's an intriguing thing, watching my interest gather momentum as the years roll by. And if I do live till 99 and a half, then I'm sure Terraforming Mars will probably be my favourite game of all time. I'm going to live forever. Don't know about you. Number 61 on this list is a deck building game that pushed the boat out further than Dominion. It's Clank, a deck building dungeon type game. In Clank, you'll be doing the traditional deck building thing. You'll be drawing cards from a deck and you're putting them in your hand, and you'll be playing cards and then cycling them through your deck. These will allow you to move, they'll allow you to attack different monsters. It's going to give you victory points, and essentially this is a push your luck experience. You're going to be trying to go deeper into the dungeon to get these relic counters, all the while being mindful of a timer that is basically going to shut the door behind you. So you need to get in, get the most lucrative stuff and get out as quickly as possible. Clank basically blends a sort of a dungeon romp with the sort of Dominion-esque deck building mechanic. Whilst the theme doesn't really come across that well, it still feels a little bit bland. They are going to be making a game called Clank Catacombs, which has got a modular board, a randomised modular board. So we're salivating to pick that up when it comes out, if it comes out. But yeah, Clank, it's got a load of expansions, loads of extra maps, plays up to 6 players with the veteran parties, and it's a nice twist on the deck building genre. So there you go, that is number 70 down to 61 on our top 100 board games of all time. Has this series made you get a nosebleed yet? If it hasn't, and you want one, then come back next time to watch number 60 down to 51, because you're going to get blown away by the quality of games that are coming your way. See you then.